I'll take it. Okay, our 20 seconds is up, and Ashley is now into simplicity. Okay, I'm Ashley Thomas, and I'm an English major. So my lesson was about using simplistic text, and teaching about how simplistic text can still have actually a really complex meaning. So I'm not going to tell you the name of the actual text that I used yet, because that would give away the answer for one of the activities. So just an overview of what I did. I did these different activities, but just for the sake of time, I'm limiting it down to one for pre, one for during, and one for post. So you can just get out a scratch sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be, you're not turning it in, obviously. Just on a sheet of paper, for our text impression, what we're going to do, because this is actually just a short poem, is what my text is. And we're going to look at some key terms and phrases that I pulled out of the poem that I felt like were the most important, or some of the most important to convey the idea. So what you're going to do is kind of make a prediction about what you think the poem will be about based on these words. So we have clock, coffin, he is dead, my north, stars, and nothing. So take just like 30 seconds or so and just kind of jot down an idea of what you think this poem might be about. You obviously aren't going to know right away. Just a guess.
Are we guessing? Or are we waiting?
Oh, you're writing it.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm going to give everybody just a couple more seconds to do that. Okay. Would anybody like to share what their prediction is? Yes.
The inevitability of death.
That's a good guess. What makes you think that?
Clock's dealing with time, coffin, and he is dead is obviously talking about.
Right.
But I'm
Okay.
sort of ignoring the North Star or something, but it sounds like
Right.
he's like in despair if the North Stars are
Okay.
nothing to him anymore.
That's a very valid prediction.
Or
Anybody
he or
else want to
she.
contribute? Yes.
I'd come up with a fallen soldier.
Fallen soldier. Okay. What makes you think soldier specifically?
He is dead and stars.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, I would say about Jesus, because,
Okay.
I mean, clocks kind of doesn't fit, but he is capitalized.
He is capitalized, yeah.
And
Kind of
then
has
North Star and coffin.
Okay. I like all of your predictions. Yes, I'm sorry, we got it. I'm sorry, I don't have time. Just save your predictions, just keep it in mind, and what we're going to do for the during reading activity is we're going to go through and actually read the poem and compare what you think the poem is about now that we're going through each stanza, compare that to your initial prediction. So, the actual name of the poem is Stop All the Clocks, Cut Off the Telephone by W.H. Auden, and I'll just read it briefly. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone, silence the pianos and with muffled drum, bring out the coffin, let the mourners come. So we're not going to really talk about each stanza, just kind of, as the poem develops, compare that to your initial prediction. Stanza 2, let aeroplanes, which is a British spelling of the word, circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. Put crape bows round the white necks of the public doves. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east, my west, my working week and Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out every one. Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to a good. So, now, we have a pretty good idea of what we think the poem is about at this point. So, now that we've read the poem itself, hopefully this will work.
Nope.
Touch it again, I think.
Nope. Oh. Okay. If I touch it again, is it going to
Try it. I think maybe we need to put pen mode. At the very top in green, doesn't it say pen mode, someone? Okay, see if you can write on it now.
Okay, I guess that'll work, even though this thing's here. Okay, so, oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you could just,
Set
can
it
I have
flat.
one very tall, touch the box up at the top, I think that will clear it.
What,
I think there's a box.
No,
up
there is
there.
no box.
Oh,
You can
Okay,
click on
just-
eraser.
You had to pick,
At the very
pick them
top,
up at the same
the
time,
options
so
are
now
eraser.
try to use
Oh,
eraser.
no, I set the other
Oh,
one
okay.
down
Oh,
at
did
that
you?
point.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. Now, okay, so now that we've read the entire poem, try to, if you can remember, what do you think the poem was about? Someone just briefly, just some keywords. What was the scene?
A funeral.
A funeral. So we have a funeral.
Take the pen.
Thank you. Okay. What were some images that you noticed that made you think of the funeral? Obviously, we have coffin, but what else?
Mourners.
We have mourners. Okay, so think about, was your prediction similar, or did it at all correlate with what you now think the poem is about? Would anybody like to compare out loud their initial prediction with what they know now about the poem? So we had a fallen soldier was your idea. So how do you think this story is still about a fallen soldier?
Could be.
It could be, very well could be. One thing that I took from it is I think it's the mourning of a lover that has passed. This was a person that was with them every single day. It was their working week and their Sunday rest. It was someone that was a staple in their lives and that has now passed. So, do you think that the poem was simple or complex?
Both.
Both. How do you think it's both? Who said both? There you go.
The general idea is very obvious, but there's a lot of intricacies in the word choice and the things he's trying to.
You're skipping ahead. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's very simple in language, but there is an underlying meaning to it. So, the language, that's kind of like language, is, use your imagination there. So yeah, we have simple language here. And you're right. I was going to get to the entire point was that it's simple for a reason, and there's an underlying
Good job,
message.
Teach.
Do what?
Good job.
Oh well, yeah. No, good job to you. But okay, so you haven't had a whole lot of time or exposure to the poem itself, so you can't really necessarily analyze it, especially since you don't have it in front of you. But thinking about what the poem said, why do you think he said stop all the clocks and cut off the telephone? Why would someone say that when their loved one has passed?
Because it's like time is standing still. They don't care about how much time passed. It's all going to be dull to them.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Jennifer, sorry.
It's kind of like saying that everything that happened up until that point is what matters, and now that he's dead, nothing else matters. So we might as well just stop time.
Very good.
I got a totally different flavor from it. I was thinking it meant cut out the distractions for a sec. Stop with life and or stop with what you have to do in life, the busyness of life, and just appreciate what you already have, or what you do have, since he's lost something. I remember when my friend, his grandma passed away. He's like, dude, go back to your families and just tell everybody that you love them. It's like, go and appreciate what you have.
That's actually I hadn't even thought about that with this poem. I like that. Yes.
Mine was kind of, for some reason I was going with like a big political person, so it's like, oh my god, pay attention, don't worry about that, pay attention to this right now.
Mhm. Oh, so you think that the poem was about someone who was important in
Right, before it
politically.
got to the
Oh, okay.
last two
Your
stanzas.
initial. Yeah. Okay. As it was developing, you thought it was about someone, an important figure.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, since we're running out of time, just to kind of summarize, everyone had really good ideas about what they thought the deeper meaning was. That yes, it's about someone who's mourning, but there was that underlying message of, you contributed that, it was about cutting out the distractions in your life, and you contributed that What did you say?
That everything that happens after this point does not matter.
Right. And what I gathered from it is the actual simplicity itself, to me, it has almost a juvenile quality to it. Stop the dog from barking with a juicy bone. It just has, it's really simplistic, in its quality, and it brings about almost a juvenile type nature to it. And what I just, in my personal experience, it made me think of when you mourn a loss, and you feel that feeling of why is everybody else going on with life? How can they possibly be happy when this has happened? When he is dead, why aren't the airplanes, saying in the sky that he's dead? Everyone should be mourning with me. And it takes you back to that almost childlike state of egotism where you can't understand how everyone else has a life outside of you. So mourning takes you back to that like primal childlike